In the heart of Kashi, the holiest city for Hindus, a young man named Anirudh stood by the banks of the Ganga, watching the funeral pyres burn at Manikarnika Ghat. His grandfather, a deeply spiritual man, had just passed away, and as per Hindu tradition, his body was being offered to Agni, the god of fire. As the flames danced, Anirudh turned to the priest and asked, "Why do we cremate and not bury our dead, like in other religions?" The priest smiled, sensing the curiosity in the young man's voice. "This is an ancient belief rooted in both spiritual and practical wisdom," he began. "Let me take you back to the Vedic times. Hindus believe that the body is temporary, but the soul, Atma, is eternal. According to the Bhagavad Gita, just as a person discards old clothes and wears new ones, so too does the soul abandon a used body and take birth in a new one. Hindus believe that the body is temporary, but the soul or Atma is eternal. Cremation is seen as the fastest way to release the soul from its earthly bonds. The fire burns away all attachments, ensuring that the departed does not linger and can transition smoothly into the next life or achieve moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth and death." Anirudh nodded, but had another question. "But other religions also believe in the soul. Why do they bury and we burn?" The priest explained, "Hinduism once practiced burial too. Excavations from the Indus Valley civilization show evidence of burial sites. However, as Hindu beliefs evolved, cremation became the dominant practice." "Why?" Anirudh asked. "Two reasons," the priest replied. "First, we are certain that the body is merely an external garment for the soul. Unlike some cultures that see the body as an extension of the person's identity, Hinduism teaches that it is temporary and not to be preserved. Second, cremation aligns with nature. Fire is the purifier, and returning the body to fire ensures that it dissolves back into nature quickly without decay. Beyond spiritual reasons, practical factors also influence the shift to cremation. In ancient India's tropical climate, burial led to rapid decomposition and was not always hygienic. Cremation was seen as a cleaner and more efficient way to honor the dead. Additionally, land was precious, and allocating large spaces for burials was not sustainable. Cremation required less space and allowed the ashes to be immersed in rivers, returning the remains to nature swiftly. Anirudh had heard of sadhus and enlightened masters being buried instead of cremated and asked why. The priest smiled again. "Great yogis and saints have already burned their worldly desires through meditation and penance. Unlike ordinary people, they do not need fire to purify them. They are buried in a meditative position because they are believed to have merged with the divine even before death." As the last embers of his grandfather's pyre turned to ash, Anirudh felt a deep sense of peace. He understood now. The body was merely a vessel, and fire was the bridge between this world and the next. The priest placed a handful of ash in Anirudh's palm and said, "This is what remains of all attachments, of all identities. Nothing is truly lost. Everything returns to the cosmos." Anirudh let the ash slip into the Ganga, watching as it dissolved, just like his questions had, into understanding.